Well, hello and welcome to the Coaching Business Spotlight Show. I'm your host, Kat Connect, and I'm here with my husband and business partner, Curtis Connect. And we are
Howdy.
beginning, hey, hey. So, as always, our intention is to bring you insight, wisdom, tips about your coaching business. And our business is called Soul Driven Success for a reason. We want to bring you those kind of tips that actually are going to come from that place in you that's like, yes, this is what I really want to do. And I've been doing a series of series, and the series I'm beginning today, I'm calling a success series, right? Business is called Soul Driven Success. And I want to talk about what soul driven success is and a particular, what would you call it, Curtis? A structure concept that you and I came up with many years ago that's been serving us really well.
Something like that, a process. There are certain elements that are present when success happens.
Okay, that's great. So, soul driven success, that's the kind of success that comes from a place inside of you. We call it the soul. It could be inner wisdom, it could be your heart, where you feel this is what I'm here to do. This is the right thing for me. This brings me alive. I love this. Okay. That's the soul driven part. Success, that part is actually you create something real in the world that connects with that soul driven piece. So you bring them together. Soul driven is the piece like, yay, I'm living my life purpose. Success is, and my business is successful. I love my life. I have a great house. I love, you want the success piece is about there are literally things in your life that you've created from being soul driven. It's that combination that excites me. I feel like it's the ultimate combination.
I would add to that, Cap, that it's because it comes from the soul, it's always of service and in the world.
Mm. This is why I keep you around.
Well, I think of Kelly Campbell. Kelly Campbell years ago said a phrase that's always resonated with me. We want to make a lot of money, do a lot of good, have a lot of fun.
Yeah. So this is like 100% belief of mine is that when something is soul driven, it's something good in the world. I just think there's a fact. So that that so all the kind of fears that coaches can have about being pushy and salesy and all that can just go away because if it's soul driven, it's actually good for the world. So go out there, be pushy, be salesy, get out there because you're doing something really important. And we can feel when something's soul driven. I can feel it when a person it has that what I'm going to call like their ego or there's something they want from me or they're really trying to push something on me that may not be good for me. There's a feeling to it, but when it's soul driven, you actually can feel whether this is the thing that you want for yourself. You get a feeling about it. Oh, there's something good here. There's something attractive here. This person is being authentic because soul driven brings out an authentic expression from each one of us. So I really love this because this is what we care about. We don't talk about it a lot, right? We talk a lot about, niche and marketing plans and, how to build your business. But this piece is central to what Curtis and I do. And it's what makes our business, I'm going to say, special. It's what makes us different from other coaching people who are out there trying to help coaches build a business. Not all of them, but many of them. And I've worked with them. And you and I have worked with people who are not soul driven, and yet they have a lot of really good information.
Yep.
But it's a very different feeling and a very different experience.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's our tool. I'll call it a tool today. We call it a success cycle. And now, if you know me at all, you know that I'm a person that once I get an idea that something's working, I break it down. I break down the parts. Like, what are all those steps that make this happen? And I have a literal rememory.
You have a memory.
I have a memory. Yeah. We were living at this house, Poli Street. Now I remember I was having this success and I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening. I'm succeeding. This was about my coaching business. I was like, okay, the things are falling in place. Clients are coming in the door. I'm feeling really, really good. What the frickin' is happening? What's actually going on? How did this happen? Because it wasn't happening and now it is happening. And it's almost like a genie. I wanted to put it in a bottle. I wanted to capture it. And here's where we're going to explore that what I discovered a success cycle that went all the way back to my childhood. This wasn't just about being in a coaching business. As soon as I tracked it, I could see, oh, yes, this was me when I was about 7 and I was in the Halloween contest costume and I did not win first place and I did not win second place and I did not win third place. And I was like, oh, I really, really wanted to win. I so wanted to win. And then there was this announcement. I heard it over the loudspeaker at the gym saying, we have a special category that we've never had before. It's called the most enthusiastic. And the winner is Kathy Karras. And I won this giant slow poke. It's like this piece of candy. I got to go up on stage and dance. I won, but I did not win the traditional way. I didn't win their categories. My costume was not in those categories, but my personality had stood out. And so I took this further. I kept thinking, what are the other times I've succeeded? And almost always it was the same thing. No, I'm not the one chosen first. I'm not the head of the class. I'm not the one they say, oh, she's going to go far. That's not me. But I always, it's like I come in the back door or I come in on the side, or there's just a way that I found, oh, that's my success cycle. And the reason I'm stopping right here is because I want everybody to take note who's listening. So often we look at other people's success and we want to go, oh, that's how they did it. Maybe if I find out from them what were the steps they took, then those are the steps I can take.
Oh, I love that, Kat. Yeah, that's the go-to place is how do you succeed? Who's the expert? What do they know? What can they teach me? How can I get that?
Yeah. And it's not like that's a bad idea. It's great to go out and interview people who've succeeded and get little tips. So part of my success cycle is that piece. I realize first I need to have a desire. I need to have something I'm aiming for that feels good and fun and right for me. So as funny as that last story was, winning the contest, I wanted that slow poke. I really wanted it. So that for a 7-year-old, right? But think about more adult things. For me, that my success cycle begins with there's something that I really want and I know what it is and it feels good. So for everyone out there, think about that for your version of that. This is why we talk about the why and the high purpose. It's because there needs to be something you really want that feels good. And so, yes, you can go see how somebody else did it. I did that most of my life. I go off track there where I think, oh, that's how they did it. So I'm going to follow some of their steps and it never, ever works. And I come back to this. What is my success cycle? And again, it's something that's not just to do with now in your business. It's a way of seeing how you as a person are wired, put together, most likely to succeed in the way that's right for you. So that's number one, is to think about what are times when you have succeeded at something you really wanted, and then take a look at what was part of that journey for you. Because I'm going to unpack a couple of things and Curtis is going to help me. May not be, you may see things you don't want to see. I'm just going to say that because wouldn't we like our success cycle to be, I did this one fun thing and then I did this other fun thing and I did this other thing that was just so easy and great and grew me and I loved it. I know for me, my success cycle after I know what I want and I start going after it, there's always a challenging place. And this was something that hit me just yesterday because I'm working on a project for an organization. They hired me to work on this project, and it's something I really want to be working on. But the job they gave me is not really my strength zone, let's say. I can do it. I'm doing a good job, but it isn't like, oh boy, this is what I'm meant to do in my life. It's a real, what are the words, Curtis? Like,
Sure.
it's a chore. It's just putting some facts together, gathering facts and putting them together. And, so I'm doing this job that I don't really, I'm going to say, like, and it's not using my very best talents. But here's the thing I want you all to take in, because this is going to be true with you in your coaching business. There are going to be times you have to do things that you don't like, that you are not even good at. And I'm not saying do them forever. I'm not saying that should be your main focus. But what I'm saying is it's probably in your success cycle somewhere that you had to go through a period of time where you got frustrated or felt like, God, this is no fun. At those times, remember that bigger picture. Remember why you're doing it, what it's aiming at. Because that's what I found yesterday helped me with my frustration. And again, I'm hoping this helps you, because this was just yesterday. Curtis and I were talking about this. And I was like, this is exactly how I moved forward with the Postal Service. For 3 years, I tried to get on a work team, just a work team, and they didn't have an opening. 3 years. Finally, I get on the work team, and I feel like this is my success cycle. I feel like I'm behind. I feel like I'm not as good as the other people. How come they got on the team quicker than me? They're already prominent. They're already getting known. I'm just new. But my success cycle works that way. Slow. I'm not the first one chosen, like I said, but I got on the work team and I just started doing jobs, and I said yes to the jobs. So part of my success cycle is I just say, yes, okay, I'll do this boring job or this job that needs to get done, because that's going to give me credibility. That's going to get me in the door. That's going to have me be a team player. And I do it well. Even if it's not in my strength zone, I do it well. And at the time with the Postal Service, I remember thinking, I am wasting so much time. It was like the 100th year of the rural carriers. And I was putting in, 10, 20 hours a week, putting together a whole presentation for this committee that wanted a presentation about it. And I was, my post office, we were going to do the presentation. It was a whole thing, and it took so much time. So I'm putting this in here, part of the story. You might be out there doing a thing that's taking so much time. And I'm going to do a little completing, and then I'm going to come back over there to you, because I know this is happening for you right now as well, right? With the thing you're doing. What happened in the Postal Service, though, was when I did this, this whole thing I worked all this time on, even though I was new on the committee, and I said, yes, people noticed, and they were like, okay, now I'm a person that they know who I am. So when a job came up, I had one job I was offered temporarily, but then a permanent job came up that I took a look at the application for it. It was way out of my league. I didn't know how to do any of the things this job said you needed to know how to do. And yet I knew, I could feel this is my purpose. I knew I could bring something really positive to this job. I knew it was going to be a good thing for me and for them. So I raised my hand. I applied for the job. I got the job. It was a fantastic job. I had to do a lot of things that I didn't even know how to do or I was good at until I landed on being able to do one thing really, really well, which was communicate. I became the communications person on this team. I was the main communicator. I got paid a lot of money to do it, and I was excellent at it, and it elevated the whole team to a place they'd never been before. So I got there, But the path there, I had to keep checking in on not getting urgent about it, not getting discouraged, realizing other people were achieving things in ways that felt better than me, but this was my way. It's kind of a turtle way, right? Or a tortoise way. There are times when I plateau, nothing's happening at all. And I think, is this ever going to work out? And it's during those times where I have to go, this is my success cycle. I do things I don't like. I have times when it's not working out, but I keep stepping up, saying yes, and putting myself out there.
And if I might, you know what you want. I mean, and it feels good. And you prepare, you practice, you do the hard work, and then you have to wait and manage your impatience or manage the frustration of what you want isn't happening right now, but you persevere. Those are when I think of a success cycle, I think, what are the stepping stones here? What are the key elements that I need to pay attention to? And it sounds like those are yours or some of yours.
Yeah. And what you're reminding me of, Curtis, because I think this piece is universal. Why we have the soul search as a part of our academy curriculum. We have a process called the soul search is because you and I have learned that we actually slow the success down by getting overly frustrated or giving up or allowing negative thinking to take over during the times when you're doing what you don't want to do or when the success hasn't yet come or you're struggling. That's when you really need help, support, community, and to be reminded of what this is really all about.
Well, and that's what fuels me when I can't find, if I'm doing like my jigsaw puzzles, if I can't find a piece, I almost enjoy the search. I enjoy it because I know sooner or later I'm going to find it. And it's fun to go, where is it? Which piece is it? And then when it fits, there's that moment of like, ooh, that's really cool.
I love that analogy. And you're working on something. I want to bring this in. So Curtis, as like the maestro of the community platform, has been working with the software. He's like in charge of that in our business. And tell us just a little bit about like what have you learned about your success cycle?
It's like doing a jigsaw puzzle. This software, my success is kind of over and over and over, memorize, come back to it, try it this way, try it that way, until it clicks. I know it'll click, but until it does, it can be really, really frustrating. It can be really, the other day I whammed my hand. Jack goes, what? What's that?
Here's
I said, it's the software. I can't.
Here's what I want to add to this, what I've noticed in your success cycle, and because this might resonate with other people, is you love to learn. So for me, I practice, I prepare, like that's me. Over for you love to learn. You love to figure it out. Like you said about the puzzle, that's your joy. There's the frustration, but there's a joy. Like I figured it out. Yes. And like there's this euphoria that comes over you and it actually works. You're actually able to move something forward from there. But for your success cycle, I've never seen you do it without going through this phase. You know, this is a part of it where you're, in order to learn it, you have to not know it and be in that uncomfortable learning place.
Yeah, it's that incompetent but conscious of it play that is really vulnerable and no fun. And yet it can be sort of, I don't know what the right word is for something that's not fun, but fulfilling, or, it's getting you there.
Yeah, that was this is what spurred this podcast. Because both Curtis and I yesterday, we were like, I'm not really having fun with this, but I know that it's getting me where I want to go.
Yeah.
And I want to put it here, getting help is important. Getting support. We don't do this in isolation. That's part of both of our success cycles is we reach out and get help. Yep. It doesn't mean we want saved. It doesn't mean we're not going to be willing to do the hard thing or the boring thing, but it's really useful to have some camaraderie along the way.
Well, and to get information to get other people's, there is a place for other people's know-how and expertise that we don't have. We
Yep.
need, and
Yep.
and then we need to make it our own. And that's the thing you were saying earlier, Kat, is you have a very unique success cycle in that it's wacky. Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking of the postal job. When I think about getting help, because one of the things that was required for this job was that I use a computer. Now, this was back in the 90s, and computers were new. And all I knew how to do with the computer was turn one on because my kids had computers. So I could honestly say, yes, I do know how to use a computer. I've never been so embarrassed on my very first day on the job. And one of my colleagues is standing right over my shoulder and saying, so Kat, go, like telling me to do something. And I couldn't do it. And it was obvious. And she said, oh, I see we're going to need to get you a little training. But what I did was I went and took a class. I took a college class. I wanted to go for the best. And I learned how to use a computer really well. So part of that is getting help. And I know you do that too. You go out and you get like somebody who knows more. So then you can bring it in and do it your own way.
Right.
And as you said, my way's wacky and other people's way might not be as wacky.
Well, I want to bring the Ooga Booga in too, because I think you tell me that my success cycle includes when I really want something, I exude an energy and it just happens. And I've never quite understood that. I've experienced it quite a bit, but I'm curious if you could elaborate on that.
Yeah.
A success cycle for people. Yeah. The
Right.
manifest.
I love that because this is a part of everybody's success cycle. There will be a way that your energy can be used. And again, as Curtis is saying, it's different for all of us. So there's not a cookie cutter, So for me, there's this enthusiasm that I naturally have that seems to work really well. Curtis has this energy. Here's what I've noticed with you. It's like, so for me, there's a knowing, here's what I want, here's where I'm headed. For you, there's a higher purpose. You get a click about, and for really high, like in our business, and you're working on the software, and you realize that coaches and coactive coaches specifically, because that's our realm, but all coaches, there's work they do in the world that's actually going to bring about the change this world needs. You're reading the headlines, we're facing, terrible things. And coaches go out there and they touch people's hearts and they open people up to a higher way of thinking. And these people could be politicians, and these people could be teachers, and these people are parents, and these people are impacting others. You get that in your head, that mission, that it's for a higher purpose, and you're just like, it's happening. It's for you. I'm going to like imitate it. Like, like you're nothing like me. Like, you're not all bright and sparkly. You're more like, okay, all right, this is what I'm going to do it. I'm going to make this happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. Well, it's a feeling. Yeah. It's a determination. And it is in service. It's always in service. Yeah.
And you and I have done some tracking of this.
Yeah.
We've done some tracking back to your youth and choices that you made. We've done some specific choices around, when there was the Vietnam War and other things or that thing that happened at your boarding school where you just got a knowing, here's what the right thing is. Here's the bigger purpose. This is bigger than me. And so therefore I'm doing it. And it's a real clear feeling. Like you said, that's the key I want to put out for everybody. When you're tracking your success cycle, you have to include how you feel. This isn't just a head thing. This isn't just I got good grades and got promoted. Because sometimes we succeed, but it's not our success cycle. It doesn't include the soul. It doesn't include the joy. I really want to make sure I'm putting that out there. I've succeeded at many things in my life only to just go, that wasn't it. That wasn't it at all. And it might have been on the path to another success, but what I've learned over the years is that I actually have gotten better and better at knowing, because I've learned how to feel what feels right and what feels good. And even if it doesn't jive with my mind or what other people are seeing, because I have other people saying, "You're doing what?" And why? And I was on this whole track. I went to ministerial school. I was offered a job at my church to be the minister. I had a book called The Soul Search, and Curtis and I were leading trainings on Soul Search course. And although the training to be a minister was part of my success cycle, how I was using it was not. I got really clear it wasn't feeling the right way. There was something missing. So there might be a point where you track things and you go, "Oh, here's where I got off track. And now I want to get right back on track." I got offered this job with CTI out of the blue, and we decided to open this academy, and like everything started to flow, and my ministerial work came in, and the Soul Search started working in a way I never could have imagined it with the coaches that we work with and how much it's helping them. So it's time to wrap this up. I want to see, Curtis, if we can just give like 5 pointers. Okay. So number 1, there is such a thing as a success cycle, and you can track it back to your whole life. So you might want to start with a success that when you think about it, feels really good. Like you're like, "Yes, that was really good. That was really fun." Not necessarily the one your parents would approve of, but the one that feels good to you. And take that and just track it. Just look to see, well, what was the path? What happened? What are some of the things that got you there? And then number 2, I would say, is look at something current that you're aiming for and see what transfers from a past success to this success, some things about you that naturally work. And then you want to be on the lookout for those places in your success cycle that are hard and challenging, and give yourself grace for them and give yourself permission to do things you don't like or that feel challenging, knowing that you're connected to that feeling of a success that's soul driven.
And as you're going through and kind of itemizing the steps, let's say, it's both things you do and things you feel and things you experience and ways you interact with the unknown and the sort of the energy of the universe.
Beautiful, because that gives me a very wonderful place to land, because magic happens then. I love that you brought that in. So you're on your path. That's when the magic happens. You're connected to what you really want. You're doing the things. Pay attention to the feelings. Pay attention to emails that show up, a person who calls, something out of the blue that you think, "What is that?" Pay attention and say yes.
And trust yourself.
Yeah. Say yes if it feels good. If it's a yes, it's a hell yes. That's in my success cycle. I go all in for it. All right. Thank you, Curtis, for joining me today. It's always fun to have you on the show. And
Always fun to be here.
Thank you, everybody who's listening. You can find out more about us at souldrivensuccess.com. If you are in our community, you can contact us at any time. We have a private chat. We have a private chat feature. We love to hear from you. Let us know how this lands. If you would like to do some more work around your success cycle, we'll make that happen. All right. Thanks for joining us. Talk to you next time.